I am so excited today to let you know that it is not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. And I'm going to be the one to really push this and jam this down your throats because I'm noticing a lot of turbulence still in the market. And hey, guess what? This is the beautiful part about any market. People need to be fearful. People need to be worried and wanting to sell in order for others, like hopefully me and you, to make their money. It really is the Wild West. It really is every man for himself, as much as we try to help each other, and that's the purpose of the channel. Unfortunately, not everyone will win in this game. Otherwise, there would be no winners whatsoever. What am I talking about, ladies and gentlemen? Well, I've got some evidence to prove today that the big guys, not just the whales, we're not talking about the guys investing into the market. We're talking about the guys who make the market themselves, not the market makers. I'm talking about the projects gearing up for the bull run. I've got evidence today to prove that a lot of these large projects that we all know and love are showing signs they're ready for the next move up. Of course, guys, before we continue, if you find yourself at any moment during this video enjoying yourself, hit that like button down there. It does help support me. Thank you very much for doing so. And also subscribe, guys, because that's going to allow you to achieve your crypto goals, as you know, this bull run. First of all, look, it's actually pretty important here to pull up charts like this and zoom out a little bit to realize that we're actually beating the adoption curve of even the internet itself. We can see here in dark blue, crypto adoption is outpacing, comparable to the internet here, rate of adoption, which is incredible, okay? Basically, over the next, 10 or 5 or 6 years, if this continues, we're going to have billions of people using crypto. And that's kind of insane to think about because it's easy to assume that we're so early right now and being in the market for any more than a few months that you begin to sort of turn into maybe more people know about this. Maybe there's less of a chance for us to make this generational wealth. Well, I actually don't think so. Now, again, I am of the firm belief that in the next bull run, we won't have as many, hyperbolic gains. We'll still have the outliers, of course. But this bull run, I think for the most part, we still are in that sort of green zone for high multiples. Now, we can also come to charts like this, right, which kind of overlays the sort of the crypto rate of adoption with how normal technology does tend to find adoption. Okay, first it's interruption, then it's a frenzy craze, which we're in right now. Then there's synergy, and then there's maturity. And again, I think we're about here right now. We're pretty much moving into synergy, if not already somewhat in synergy itself. And of course, what does this mean? This means we'll end up looking somewhat like the previous cycles back in 2016, 2020, and 2024. Guys, I think the last few minutes of this video here have just gone to show you that we are gaining adoption. Crypto ain't going anywhere anytime soon, or at least the quality projects aren't. But suffice it to say, what about this video am I talking about? What is it that these projects are doing that are ultimately showing me signs that the bull market will continue, and it's a matter of when, not a matter of if? Well, before I get into that, for those of you who are still freaking out, and again, I don't really blame you here. It's literally part of what a market is. It's all psychology, literally a market psychology. Yes, you have data that runs and flows the market, but ultimately it's all based on psychology. People decide to buy and sell, and that of course moves the market in any way. Of course, this recent move to the downside has been a perfect time for whales to accumulate more and more. When I say whales, I mean the big boys in a Telegram group of like 10, 20 multimillionaires or billionaires. And I'm talking about the whales like the VCs, right, who are literally moving this market at their will, okay? These guys have taken up this chance to do something very important. And this is something that I think you need to listen to if you haven't seen this chart and diagram already. They've pretty much forced, or at least encouraged, the market to move down to a point in which they have a really good entry level, right? Trying to make retail sell at a loss. That's their whole goal here, okay? Is to make retail freak out and sell their bags prematurely. What they're doing here is filling their own bags, allowing them to exit cheaper, okay? Retail doesn't usually buy back in until what? Confirmation. We as retail like to know the bull run is still on, which we're kind of moving more into now as the sort of macro news fizzles out. We're kind of going, okay, a couple of good articles are coming out. YouTubers are talking positive again about the market. Okay, now it's time to redeploy. Now it's time to get back in, or now it's time not to freak out as much and maybe, just maybe, increase my exit prices a little bit, right? We like to have confirmation we are back in a bull run. Well, what happens? There's a big issue here, okay? Retail now requires 50 to 100% more gains due to selling at a possible loss. So if you did end up, like, say, buying up here and then selling down here, you obviously lost money, which means you require more multiples to get to the same outcome. If you needed a 10x to make 100K and you lost 30 or 50% of your bag, you now need a 15 or a 20x to make up those multiples, which means you might have to actually sell higher, possibly, okay? Because again, you're not typically buying until we are reconfirmed back in a bull run, which normally is prices higher or the same price, even what you bought before. The main point here is you sold, you panic sold, or even then, you're just bullish again, you raise your sell prices. So we end up selling way up here, or at least we're forced to, okay? So VCs now have a lower average buy-in and have more tokens. This allows them to sell much sooner. So it looks something sort of like this, okay? Whales are able to buy down here, fill up their bags even more. We are suckers. We pretty much don't buy in until we're back up here or up here again until it's confirmed. VCs get a nice 10x. They exit the market up here. But since we've averaged in up here, or again, we've lost some money on the overall position, we then need to sell up here. Or at least we think we have to sell up here. It never ends up going that high. Prices never actually go that high because VCs are well and truly out of the market before then, and because they usually mass sell, typically, all right, that means the prices never really reach that level, and we go, oh my God, we, push these sell prices too high. As a good investor, as a good trader, we do have to mold our exit plans towards whatever the market does at a time of bearishness. Of course, in a moment of bullishness, we're all going to expect the market to never stop. That's just human psychology. We have to reanalyze this stuff now, where prices are low, where we're thinking a bit more clear, if not a bit more pessimistically, to get out safely. It's a big part of crypto and a big part of markets many people seem to ignore. Now, I want to quickly pull up this little chart here that Nagato, a good friend of mine, actually posted over on Twitter. And I think this is really interesting. Now, this might be a doctored post, right? It may actually be faked, but I think nevertheless, it's still important to read out. So this guy called, apparently, way back in November of last year, you profit by riding this Bitcoin pump until RRP becomes zero around Q2 2024, which is now. Which coincidentally, around the time of the Bitcoin halving, which coincidentally, with the same time the Bitcoin ETF narrative hit the mainstream. Then you sell everything else. Then something will happen. Doesn't matter what, just something, that everything becomes scary, then the biggest money printing operation in history restarted. So like Nagato said, this guy's called it so far. And again, this is typical, right? Going back to what I was saying moments ago, we are encouraged by positive articles and negative articles, right? If there's something really negative out there, the market will fall because it's all based on, again, psychology. Same with the upside. We're waiting for that confirmation. Something will happen to trigger the bullish sentiment and everyone will go back into buying. And I'm pretty confident that we haven't had our all-time high yet, because this is a pretty good gauge among many others that we still haven't had that sort of capitulation event. Normally capitulation events, whales in this color here, have a pretty large sell-off. Normally they hit about 20% holding capacity with their Bitcoin, and then we kind of have the topping event soon after. And the same thing on the inverse here for paper hands, right? They typically end up buying the tops above about 70% hold rate. We never even got close. We were over here at about 50% or so. So we have a long way to go. This chart here kind of realizes it and shows it in a different way, kind of overlays them both. So I think that we have a long-term way to go. Whales and long-term holders usually have a good reason to begin selling. And this is great because, of course, the beautiful part about crypto and decentralized ledgers, okay, is we can see everything. We can literally pull this information in and have a look. I made a video recently on the channel that goes over a whole bunch of indicators to possibly signal the top. And that video was pretty convincing, in my personal opinion, that we have a long way to still go, or at least a lot more gains to still come. One final thing before I actually get into the reason why I think that, people are still going to make money in this bull run and it's a matter of time, is I want to show this one last article here from Nagato. Again, psychology, guys, I'm trying to teach you something in this video. Is he mentions that basically do the opposite of whatever the market does. When it's down, buy. When it's up, sell. And that's literally how you win. You literally win by doing the opposite of the herd. Let me read to you what he said here. I just love this tweet so much, I needed to share it with you, okay? When everyone is bullish, you need to start thinking bearish. When everyone is bearish, you have to start thinking bullish. The higher the prices go, the lower the chances of making money. And of course, the inverse is the lower the prices go, the higher your chance of making money. Human psychology is designed to make you do the opposite. Okay, we're programmed from a very young age to follow the herd. We're programmed to do whatever the person in front of us is doing. This is why most people are broke. They let their emotions dictate their investment choices. If you want to succeed, you don't be like most people, rather. So that's a very important point to make. What I typically tell you all is if there's an overlying narrative or sentiment, bullish or bearish, something else is bubbling under the surface to then catch people off guard. He said it great. Now, look, the only way you can overcome this, in my personal opinion, is by doing a little bit. And I'm talking a little bit, guys. Don't freak out, of groundwork. Spend a bit of time on your weekends rather than just literally sitting on the sofa doing nothing and learning a little bit about where you're putting your damn money, okay? That doesn't mean having to go dive deep into altcoins and do that rubbish stuff. Just watch a few videos, figure out a few of the sort of top influencers, if you will, and kind of just take their opinions and then go and try to apply that into your own research ways. Videos themselves won't cut it. Researching aimlessly won't cut it. So I think, again, learn a little bit about this sort of stuff and where you're parking your money. That way you won't panic sell your altcoins at the first sign of trouble. Let me now quickly go over why I'm so bullish. And I'll keep this quite brief because it doesn't really need much explanations. Again, guys, when we're looking at crypto, when we're looking at investing, all right, we have to look at what we're investing in. Now, the things we're investing in usually know what's up, all right? These are teams full of, I'm talking about projects here, right, altcoins. These are teams of 10, 20, 100 or 300 people looking at the market, looking at ways they can capture the attention of most people. Let me say that again. They are looking at ways to capture the attention of most people to draw in money, to make money. A few days ago, I made a video on ICP Render, and I think it was another coin. I forget, Ondo or something. Regardless, I showed a video of Dominic, the co-creator and CEO of the Definity Foundation, right, ICP. And he literally said this in one of his clips. He said, most of these projects are peddling snake oil. They're vaporware. They just know what to say to attract people, to entice them to buy their token. Literally, exactly, couldn't have said it better myself. All right. So we're looking at projects like Hedera, and what they're doing is they're refreshing their website at these times. Now, this might seem inconspicuous. This might seem just, whatever, Kyron, to you. But for someone like myself who researches cryptocurrencies all day, every day, when these projects refresh their websites to make it more appealing, to make it simpler for the person to understand what the project is and what narrative it situates in, tokenization, AI, and so on, they are trying to grab your attention. They understand that, look, they can have all the big name businesses in the world, Google, LG, BitGo, Avery Dennison, but ultimately the price of the project won't go up unless they attract retail, Web3. This is a whole part of why I teach this stuff in my Fundamentals plan. Polkadot recently updated their website, and if you go and have a look at how much simpler it is now, look how simple the website is. You'll begin to understand, okay, if I'm going to dumb down my knowledge base, if I was to read the website or even half the first page of the website and just have a look at what they're trying to tell me, what is Polkadot? And again, dumb that down for yourself for the average person in crypto. You'll be going to go, is this appealing for me? Does this encourage me to want to look into it further? And you'll get your answer pretty quickly. A great example I always refer to is AOS. They've refreshed their website, and lo and behold, literally because of this, they gained 40x over like a few months. They gain a 20x pretty quickly, and then they 20x further after that. So very quick 40x, and everyone now talks about AOS. I have my reservations towards AOS, understandably, because I just haven't seen it really be an operational project, but most cryptocurrencies are like this. Most of them are just a cool idea. They'll sell you on the idea. Will they be around forever? I can't say so for certain, but again, AOS, DePIN for Web3, AI, storage, and streaming. Three massive narratives. Streaming is a bit iffy, but DePIN, AI, and storage are massive narratives, and they've got that, boom, first thing on their website. That's going to attract the degens, regular money, if you will, to FOMO and buy that, especially on the sniff of any good sort of wind of upgrades or announcements, all right? They're going to go, oh my God, look at this project, does everything. I'm going to buy it, right? It's got this amazing new update, so on and so forth. Now, Algorand is updating their website. Matter of fact, they even changed the URL. Algorand Technologies, it's now called. Not algorand.com or algorand.org, whatever it was, okay? Also, Moonbeam recently updated their website. I spoke about this a few times as well. This is so important to understand, guys. Again, it might seem very silly to some of you to go, oh, Kyron, you're talking about their website, really? Break down where most of the money on these projects flows from. Most of the money from these projects flows from retail. Most of retail has got no single clue about what any of these projects actually do. They don't even know what a layer 1 is. They're just buying because it sounds cool, because it's doing things better than its competition. All right, it's narrative. We come over here to like Mina Protocol, again, same sort of thing. In this case, Dfinity on their Twitter. What's their banner got now? AI running fully on the blockchain. You think these people are stupid? You think this is an accident, right? No, it's not. Okay, Mina Protocol, of course. AI, where AI and Web3 intersect. Go to their website. It would not surprise me if Nia's website refreshes sometime soon here and all of a sudden they've got AI blasted on their website, but right now it's not. It's blockchain's abstracted. This is quite boring. I think they'll update this pretty quickly here to mention something about AI. And of course, SingularityNet, right? The new ASI token itself. They've got this amazing new update coming out based in September for get this, AGI supercomputer. Unbelievable update. And so, as any good crypto investor, you're just looking at this sort of stuff. They don't peddle these sort of updates and these changes to their website and to these long-awaited updates at any given time. They're gearing up for something, whether it be in September, whether it's October, or whether it's just simply the last quarter of this year. They're preparing for something to happen. And that, of course, is the next level of the bull run. So, hey, guys, look, you don't have to listen to me. You don't have to take this information and go, oh, this is definitely guaranteed, because none of it really is at the end of the day. But what it is a great idea and signal for all of us to go, the very projects themselves are trying to entice retail now to get ready for that next thing because they've seen it all before. So, why don't we take the hint? Take the hint. Something's happening here, okay? And of course, we can dive into the on-chain metrics and have a look, and all that does agree as well that the bull run hasn't really happened yet. So at the end of the day, guys, I think this was all whale games. Of course, we have it happen. The macro situation in the real world was definitely valid, and it obviously cascaded through to crypto. But of course, things are always much worse for crypto, because crypto is an adolescent little child who reacts hyperbolically to its parents, which is the traditional markets, who often do react, of course, as well. It's always worse for us, though. So, guys, thank you very much. I hope this has made sense and provided you some context on the situation. And with that being said, I will talk to you all very, very soon. Take care. Bye-bye.